running a proper artist project nowadays, it's more akin to like running a business now. So many people to deal with, stuff with labels, stuff with management. You have to, you know, apply like for like the grants and everything, figure it, like get grant writers, get people involved, get lawyers involved. It's literally like just running out a business where you happen to make music.
Prochaine station.
Lowkey MTL.
Yeah, but you never paid for a show. Like,
yeah. And then they hit you with, can I get free tickets?
Can I get a guest list? I haven't spoken to you in 10 years.
Yeah. Can I get backstage? But yeah, you're rebranding your whole thing right now.
Yeah.
And I always wonder when people rebrand, I feel like it's like a tough decision because like, especially with like social media and like your audience, like you start like confusing them and like bringing them other places.
Yeah.
Like what was your reasoning behind that?
Honestly, it's like, it's a weird process because like Kasnowski has been the first music project that I started. Like I used to play in bands and stuff like that, but like Kasnowski was my own project and everything. And I've been running it since I was like, I don't know, like 20. Mm-hmm. So like deciding to rebrand is almost like a decade of my life that I felt I was like throwing away in a certain way. Like not really, because you know it's like you take a step back to do like 10 forward, you still got your contacts, you still got all the people you worked with in your previous project, and that's what I did. It's like I at the end of Kasnowski I felt like it had ran its course because I was doing like that bass house tech house thing. I felt it was oversaturated, the sound was kind of old, I was over it, you know. I don't want to say like I became old and grumpy and stuff like that, but I just wanted to go in a different direction musically and like explore more complex stuff, more melodics, more vocals, more stuff like that. And I feel like it was a hard choice, but I feel like in the long run it is going to be the right choice because I'm starting fresh. Of course, new socials is always like really hard, especially today. Starting new socials, it's a different ball game than like 10 years ago when everybody was fresh on Instagram, was super easy and whatever. Now it's highly competitive, but I feel that in the end, I'm here for the music. Good music always finds a way, and people are gonna slowly come towards the project. I'm gonna get some content out. I'm gonna keep doing music every month, releasing music every month, and figure it out.
So why didn't you just keep like the Kasnowski name and then continue with that?
I feel like I said, I felt like it had run its course. Like it's been going on for almost 10 years, and I had all these songs that I feel like weren't really representing me anymore. They weren't really my vibe anymore. And at the end of the project, you could really see that the past like maybe 2 years of the project, after I did this whole like, because I had this run where I was doing like the Hexagon, Confession, like releases, like really bass house-ish and whatever. And at some point I kind of grew tired of that, and I tried experimenting with more musically inclined music, vocal and everything. And I wouldn't say lose myself, but try some different stuff, and you can really see it by the end of the project that I'm really trying to find a new way.
Yeah, you're trying to find like a sound.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to redefine what Kasnowski was, and at this point I realized that, you know what, this is not Kasnowski, this is a brand new thing. And also I was involved with new people, like a better group of people, like other producers helping me, other vocalists and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, I have all the tools at this moment to just start something brand new. So I was like, why not just take the jump and do it at this point?
Right. And so like, what's your idea with this new, like, so now you're using more of like, it sounds like a name. Is that your like, you're using with Alexander? George Alexander, yeah. So that's more of your name or like?
Oh yeah, George Alexander is actually my middle name.
Oh, okay.
Like Kasnowski was like, because like my last name is Castellote Chikanovsky. So it was a blend of my last two names, and George Alexander is straight up my middle name.
What background is that?
Castellote is Spanish and Chikanovsky is Polish.
Oh, okay. So are you half? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
My dad's from Madrid, he's Spanish. My mom, she's half German and half Polish.
And you grew up in?
I grew up in Quebec. I was born in Quebec. They met in Europe and then they moved out.
Oh, okay.
Quebec,
but like in Quebec City?
Like in the boonies of Quebec City.
Oh, okay. So you never lived in Montreal?
I never lived in Montreal.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here every weekend though. Bad decisions.
It's like people from Ottawa. They're here every weekend too.
I mean, Quebec's a beautiful city, but nightlife kind of sucks. There's nothing to do there, which is, I feel it's kind of a benediction because you don't get lost in the sauce. You don't go partying out too much and stuff like that because there's literally nothing to do. So it's like you're in Quebec, you can easily spend a weekend at home working on your stuff because you're not missing out on anything because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Which is boring, but it is also a great thing in a certain way.
There is a positive to that because you're not like always doing something.
Yeah,
like I feel like here, like as soon as the weekend comes around, there's like so many plans happening.
Oh, exactly. If I would live in Montreal, I would already be like a crackhead or something.
Yo, for real, I know. Yeah. that's fucking hilarious that you say that. But yeah, so with the new project, you're gonna, are you like, because you also DJ, right? So like, are you gonna focus more on production, or are you gonna focus like I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand, but
yeah, they go hand in hand right now. For the moment being, the big focus is really on production, putting out as much quality music as I can. And like I mentioned earlier, like I've surrounded myself with a team of people that are really like good for me, and I feel that are pushing in the same direction as me.
How did you meet these people? Like, how did that happen?
It's through the Kasnowski project. It's through the years and everything, playing shows, traveling all around the world, doing writing camps for other artists and stuff like that. It's like I've built this kind of like circle around me where we always work together, all either on my project, some other project, stuff like that. We just make music and we just vibe. And one thing that really changed in terms of my mindset was when I was with the Kasnowski project, I was really focused on, I have to be the only person working on this. I have to be like a one-man show. Like, and then I realized that no one actually makes it by themselves. Everybody's surrounded by a team. Like, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. Like corny stuff like that.
I'm still in that stage of like the one-man team thing. I'm still in that stage of like the one-man team thing. I have to make sure it's recording. I have to make sure like, so I can see how it could be a lot better with like other people.
Yeah, honestly, like sometimes you know what you want, but sometimes you can find someone who can help you just make it faster, make it better, anything. Like you don't have people have to remove the stigma of reaching out for help is a bad thing, and that it discredits like
your work,
your artistic integrity. Like everybody reaches out for help, everybody works with everybody. So at this point, like why not just get a bunch of friends together and try to make the best music as possible? Like you throw them a song, like, yo, I've been working on this, can you guys help me out? And like you have a friend that just writes a cool top line, you have someone else like, oh yeah, well, that piano line would be sick and stuff like that. So why just not work together, credit everyone, just have fun with it.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to put the focus back on the music, the fun, the experience, more than like this is just it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, no, that thing is so really nice. Like I said, like I'm trying to get the focus back on the music, the experience, what it means to have an artistic project, more than I feel like a lot of these guys nowadays are just like trying to appear as they're only one dude there, and became more of an ego thing more than an artistic thing. And I'm like,
you gotta put that aside.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to put the music first, and yeah, it's like I'm gonna be playing shows and whatnot, but the George Alexander project is music. It's gonna be art as well, because I don't know if you saw with the cover art, it's all paintings that I'm doing.
Oh, okay. And yeah, well, I noticed there's like a theme of like the ripped paper.
Yeah, the ripped paper is just I'm trying to rip out my face a little bit, because like I said, I'm trying not to put the focus on me. To really have the focus on the music. It's like I'm gonna do a podcast, people are gonna see my face. I'm gonna do shows, they're gonna see my face. It's fine. I'm not trying to be like a mass project, like a model.
You're not trying to be like Clapton or Marshmallow or something.
No, exactly. I'm just trying to be like, yeah, it's me, but the focus shouldn't be on me, should be on the music, should be on the experience it is. So we got I got the music going on. I'm doing all my visuals as well. Like for shows, it's basically gonna be like walking into like a digital museum. Like all the paintings are animated and everything, and there's visuals fitting for every single record that I'm doing. And also I'm building like an online museum where you're going to be able to walk around the museum and like
look in virtual reality,
at the picture, but also get the music from it. So it's like a audio and visual experience that I'm creating.
Yeah, it's very cool.
The project. Like I'm drawing a bit of inspiration from guys like Madian and some people like that for the project, because like I said, I want the focus to be like on the experience of the show, the experience of the music, more than just like, hey, like I'm another like dude being a DJ.
Yeah, especially as like a touring artist, I feel like it's really important because like that connection that people have like in real life is what they like. It's the word of mouth and what they talk about. You know, I feel like what I could relate to is like I remember like seeing Diplo live versus like his music. It's like a different experience. There's like some artists that like when you see them live, it's like a whole different experience.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But I mean, Diplo is very much a pretty massive, multifaceted commercial machine at this point. Like
He has a run club, bro. Now.
Yeah, he's gonna do country music, he's gonna do house, he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, now he's at that place now. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
But I find it was also interesting that he did run club. Like he has his own run club, and like he's being productive while he's touring. You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane. Like, but that guy has transcended from being an artist to being like a brand at this point almost. So
it's true. It's kind of like Peggy Goo too. I find
exactly.
like that brand is like its own thing, just a name.
It's like Marshmallow. Like that project could go on forever and ever and work with many different type of artists and genre. And like, I mean, as soon as you make it into Fortnite, that's you become pop culture. You're not an artist anymore. You're just like a brand icon that everything can like relate to. You become bigger than the artist at this point. It's like it's a big ass company. Yeah,
it's true. Your like experience thing you're talking about, is it like a virtual reality thing or is it just like
Oh no, it's just gonna be like more like, well, not virtual reality, that would be like overkill a bit.
Like, so kind of like Drake's website where you could like shop around. Like, have you ever seen that?
I never went on Drake's
website. I only went on it because it was like cool for like as a website. Like the website design was cool, and I'm in like marketing, so like it just interested me. But he created like a shop where you're like, it's like different areas of his house, and he has like he has like products kind of just like laying around, and then you can kind of like buy it if you see, like, you know, it's like. Is it kind of like that kind of style what you're talking about? Or?
Well, I'm thinking more like it's gonna be like just like a straight up like a museum with paintings, like more like an art gallery type
like a
thing.
Gallery, okay, like a real life gallery, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
It's like because every track is represented by a painting.
And are you doing the paintings?
Ish.
Like, what do you mean? So you have a concept and you're getting an artist to do it?
I got my buddy AI to help me.
I mean, AI art is a whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's I know people on Instagram that literally just make AI art and like they just know how to prompt AI properly. So like it's still a skill. You know?
Yeah, I'm really great at writing a single sentence right now. So I'm doing the AI thing. But like I get the AI painting and then I do like all the like the assets with it and everything. Like it goes pretty fast. I mean, at this point, it's like the tools there want to use it.
When you got into music, like in the beginning, I'm talking about like early stages. Like, what was your vision like back then? Was it just like just to be a DJ, or was it like, oh, I want to be a producer?
I mean, I think back then I actually became a DJ by accident.
Oh yeah,
because long time ago, like 15 years ago, I was like playing in bands and stuff like that, and
you were playing in bands?
Yeah, I was playing in bands.
What were you? What instrument were you playing?
My main one has always been bass.
Okay.
I play like guitar, saxophone, whatever. Like.
Did you do any vocal work at all, or?
I'm really bad at singing. Like I tried a little bit here and there.
But there's autotune now, like.
Yeah. Also, autotune can do anything for me.
I mean, I find
that.
you know Zoo, like ZHU.
Yeah.
He created a whole album during COVID, and he had to do the vocals himself, right? And I feel like if it wasn't like great, but like
if it works, it works.
You do it. You know?
But Zoo is another artist that I take a lot of inspiration for. I like the whole vibe of like him being like, we know what he looks like, we know who he is and stuff like that, but he's still trying to be like a bit mysterious and like not putting anything of the project on himself. It's like the music talks, the brand talks. That's some kind of vibe I want to
That's achieve. True, yeah. Because when I think of Zoo, I don't think about him. I think about his music.
No, exactly. Yeah. And like he's not masked. He's just like we know his.
I know what he looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows what he looks like, but the focus isn't on him, and that's the type of vibe I want to achieve with the George Alexander project a little bit.
Okay, dope.
But to go back to the music thing, it's like I started in bands, and the funny thing is, I actually started playing in bands because back then when I was in college, I was underage. And I wanted to be able to go to the bar. So like being part of the band that was playing was the easiest way to be to go there because they wouldn't card me. So that was like my
your master plan.
Yeah, that was my cheat that I found back then. But no, I was doing like folk Québécois, like French music. And then like that bar, after we're done playing, they used to have like this DJ come in, and like the guy would often like just flake and not come. So I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna start playing music randomly. And at that moment, also I had a couple friends that brought me to my first music festival, which was Escapade. I think it was the first or second edition of Escapade. And I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. And
was it raining?
I don't remember. Dude, it's been like 15 years. It's been a while. Like I think I was like fresh 18.
Yeah. It was like
I was 18 because I wasn't able to drink at the festival back then because it's 19.
Oh, I was 19 in Ontario. That's true.
Yeah, so it's been 12 years. Goddamn.
Damn.
And and I was like, yo, electronic music's kind of fire. I started like fucking around a little bit on Ableton and everything. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. And
you went to Ableton first?
I downloaded FL Studio for like 7 minutes and I hated it. And then I went to Ableton.
Yeah, but I heard Ableton is like the hardest one to learn. It's like kind of like Adobe with.
Yeah, but exactly. It feels more. It feels like, I don't know.
More
how
legit.
Can I say it? Like Microsoft Excel. That's the vibe Ableton gives me, but that's the vibe I like. It's like really clean, nothing like fancy.
It's like organized, yeah. It's like organized.
Yeah, it's really organized. It's just white on black. It's just really clean. It's like an Excel sheet for music. That's how I see it. Like when I compare like FL Studio, which is more like a lot of colors and
it's more everything. Like interface is more like
it feels more video game-ish on FL Studio. But I don't know. I feel like Ableton is just cleaner.
It's like Final Cut Pro, like for the Apple users use for video editing and like Adobe. But like when I learned video editing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn like the industry standard. If I'm gonna like put in the time into this, like I may as well learn like what's the best thing possible. And I even at that time I was also looking into like Ableton, and then I saw Ableton and I was so like confused. I was like, what the fuck is this? There's like the stacked view and like the other view. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. And I just stuck to video editing. But yeah, like I feel like I still work with like audio stuff in video, but like I find it's...
Which one are you using there?
This is Logic.
Logic?
Yeah. That's recent. My early podcast days, like I was just recording like straight into the camera.
Nice. No, I don't... I'm not a Mac guy, so like I don't really...
I used to not be either, and then it just slowly like crept up on me. I got an iPhone, then I got the watch, and then I got the AirPods, and it just creeps up on you. And then once you're in the ecosystem, like you can't get out.
I think what's keeping me away from Macs is that I'm too much of a gamer.
Oh, okay. So, like, do you have a PC?
Yeah, I build my own PC. I build PC for other people for fun and stuff like that. Like I'm a huge nerd. So.
I built one too. It used to be here, but it's in the other room. But I built one during COVID to like for video editing, and I was using Windows. And then once I started like working like a day job, and then getting like the company laptops, was always a Mac, especially in the creative field. It's always a Mac. And then I just got used to it, and then it was like, it is what it is.
Yeah, one thing I really love about Macs is like, let's say when you're working music with other people, you're like all in the room, everybody has their laptops or
AirDrop.
whatever, like the AirDrop to send the files. Like
so easy.
I'm always like the pain in the ass having my Windows PC.
And you could drop like big files.
Yeah, exactly. No, dude, the AirDrop is insane, honestly. Like that would be the only reason for me to switch to a Mac.
That's how they get you. There's something that gets you, and then you're trapped.
Yeah. It's like everybody's like dropping like, oh, like airdrop me this or that. Like, sent you the WeTransfer, bro.
WeTransfer, and then also like the group chat thing, right?
Oh yeah. Like everything gets fucking horribly compressed in WhatsApp. Or
I guess this WhatsApp is an alternative,
but I tried having like an Android phone also for like a couple of weeks, bro. I got flamed in every group chat because everybody was texting in green because of me. Nothing was working, no emojis, everybody's fucking hating on me.
But like coming back to surrounding yourself with people, I find it's like really hard to find people that are like gonna put in that like work and like actually be serious with like music. And you're saying like people give you a top line or whatever, like, I don't know what you said, but so like that means like that circle they're like focused enough to like continue like contributing like throughout the week. And I don't know if everybody has like day jobs. Like I don't know what you do. Like, do you have like a day job or anything?
I do mostly like I develop software.
Okay.
Also, like I have a ticketing service that I'm working on, like a Web3 based on Polygon.
Oh, nice.
And I'm also like developing like random iPhone
But
apps.
this is all like just like independently, or like are you working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I have my own company. I'm doing my thing. Like,
oh, dope. Okay.
It's like I have an idea. I have a team of developers that works down in Montreal.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, I've got an idea. We should do this and that and whatever. Like I'm just trying to get. I don't know. I'm just. But
in
a big
Web3,
nerd, so.
in Web3 specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a ticketing service that runs on Polygon.
Okay.
I don't know if you're.
I know about Polygon, but I don't know like too much in like in.
It's like it's a layer 2 for Ethereum that I'm just running like all my ticketing service, authentication, security, and everything on the blockchain directly.
Okay, yeah.
Like I've been working on that for like a couple of years. It's like another sideline with music.
Oh, sure, yeah. What are your thoughts on like the blockchain kind of like justifying content? Because like now there's so much misinformation, and like, do you think that could be used as like a way to?
For authentication, dude, it's insane. It's really, really good. Like. The I always see it like the main aspect of crypto is really like of blockchain is 100% authentication, and to make sure that payments are secured and payments are not like, when you have a period of high volume, let's say on, I don't know, like I'm still going to use a ticketing website, like I don't know, like a Taylor Swift concert or whatever. People are trying to buy tickets at the same time.
It crashes.
Payment providers, they get overloaded. Some people are like payments are not going to go through. Some people payments are going to go like in duplicates, and some people are going to get duplicate tickets because the system isn't like good enough and stuff like that. So I would see it as like blockchain can help avoiding all these issues of double spendings or just like a payment going nowhere and failing. So that helps a lot. And also for authentication, to make sure that people are not getting twice the same ticket, or somebody literally steals their ticket.
You don't, I guess because like that's like a separate thing. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but like you don't focus on promoting, like it's a company, right? You said?
Yeah, it's a company. It's a different whole sideline. My main focus in life is music, is artistry, is making it out as an artist, creating a project that's,
So you were doing the DJ stuff while building this side, the main thing, Yeah. So you're like, wait, did you finish school and stuff, or you kind of like?
I tried finishing school many times.
Yeah.
Because I was in business at the Université Laval in Quebec. And the thing is, I was starting my semester, and then by October I always had let's say like shows in Europe, because it's always like Amsterdam dance event. And I was with my old project, I was always building like small tours and stuff like that around that. So I would always miss school in October, and back then it was before COVID, so like online exams weren't really a thing. If you weren't there, they were like, just fuck you, just retake the class. So I had to cancel out like maybe like honestly I stayed 7 years in college, and I probably had to cancel like 5 out of my 7s like fall semesters, and same thing for my winter semesters. Each time I was trying during my finals, back then I was doing a lot of sailing. I was doing sailing races with my dad and my brother and some friends.
Sailing. Okay.
Yeah, sailing, like sailboat.
Yeah.
Like back like down in the Caribbeans and stuff like that. So the competitions were always during finals. So I was like so I had to skip, and like half of my class were like, well, you aren't there for your final exam, so you gotta like cancel out the course and start over
that's
again.
Super random. Sailing races, how did you get into like sailing races?
My dad used to be like a big time sailor when he was in Spain.
Oh wow. Okay, so he would continue doing that even after like coming to Quebec?
Yeah, exactly. Like he got a cottage by a lake, and he's just like sailing away like every summer. So he roped us into that. And, yeah.
Did you like it at all, or like?
Oh yeah, I really love it. Like we haven't done any competition since COVID, because like it really like messed up
for sure.
Sailing ecosystem, all the competitions and everything. But hopefully I'll get back at it.
Okay,
at some point.
I've never like it is pretty rare, like sailing races.
No, the craziest I did is like I sailed from Cabo Verde in Africa with my dad all the way to St. Lucia in the Caribbean on like It's like a 40-foot boat. It's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How big is this thing?
It's like 4 dudes, 24 hours, like nonstop in ships, just like crossing the whole Atlantic. That's insane.
That's a lot of discipline, actually. I feel like how long did it take?
It took 15 days.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, it took 15 days nonstop.
What do you do like in between?
You sleep and you eat
in the water.
No, I mean it's constant. So you're always flying. You always have to readjust the sails and everything because it's a race.
Yeah,
that lasts like 2 weeks.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah. And it was funny because
are you like you could see someone beside you like?
Oh, at first you see people a little bit, but like after a day or two, like there's no one to be seen.
Dispersed.
Like,
yeah,
bro, the ocean is huge.
Yeah, how do you like navigate yourself through there?
GPS, bro.
Okay. So like everybody, I guess, ends up at the same spot.
Yeah, everybody ends up at the same spot. Like satellite helps, but like sometimes we would like cross, like I don't know, we would see far away like a cargo freighter or some stuff like that, but it was like really nothing. Yeah, like sometimes you had like dolphins just chilling by the boat. Yeah, like they would spot us and come swim next to us.
It's not dangerous at all. Like there's no like deaths or anything like
that. I think there was like I'm not sure if someone died, but I think there was definitely a boat that sank during that race that year. I remember. Yeah, but I mean it's part of the game. Like you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's my like worst nightmare. Like being in the middle of the ocean. Like I have like nightmares about that. Like it's like I don't know what the fuck do you do in the middle of the ocean? Like you can't do anything.
Bro, you can't do shit.
You just
float and die, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try floating. I would just sink right away. Like, somebody come eat me right now, kill me right now. Yeah. Shit, that's super interesting that you did that. Did you do any other sports like growing up, or was it just?
I tried playing a little bit of football, but my knees were always like not.
I have bad knees too.
Yeah, I have really bad knees.
I think it's like a tall person thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I did a lot of snowboarding though. But like ever since I started music, really like
everything
sports
else
has gone out the window. Yeah,
yeah. Especially like I feel like as you get older, you have to focus like on like not like too many things. Like it's hard. Like there's so many things you want to do at the same time, but like. There's a book actually I read called The One Thing, and like it literally says like you have to focus your energy on like one thing. Yeah. And that's the only way you could like progress it, or else you're like spreading yourself thin. But at the same time, you're like time is finite, and you're like I'm young now. Like I want to build everything as possible. Like I can now, and then.
But honestly, that thing that like spreading yourself thin, that's actually really, really true because I feel like that's one thing I did in my 20s. I started too many projects and. How can I say, in a certain way, I felt like pretty much when I was like 28, 29, I felt like I was just good at everything, but great at nothing in a certain way. Like I could do everything. I was dabbling in the development of like software, like and stuff like that. I was doing music. I was doing like a bunch of other shit. And I was like, you know what? I need to really put back the focus into one thing, which is also why the rebrand happened. Because I felt like also in a way when I was searching for my sound at the end of the Kasnovsky project, where, you know, everything started like not going haywire, but as I was trying different styles, different vibes and everything. I was doing other projects and everything, and I was not really 100% back into my music project. And I was like, you know what, I need to take a year off, work, like all the semantics and everything of the new project, but also set the stones in my life where every other sideline projects I have can pretty much run by themselves, so they don't have a big like impact on music anymore. So I just like literally took a year, like in a certain way, set my affairs like in order to get the whole focus back 100% on music. And that's why like I reached out to all the people that I'm working with now. They're like, okay, like this is literally like now or never. It's happening. I got the time, I got the focus, I got everything sorted out. Let's make this happen. Did you
give yourself like a timeline or like a deadline for this?
Not really. It's like I launched the project, the George Alexander project, in July this summer. Okay. I mean, I'm 30, so hopefully it starts working, because dude, that's like 30, I feel like I'm getting old, man.
You just turned 30?
Yeah, I turned 30 back in September. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
like,
I'm turning 30 soon.
Yeah.
In March.
It's rough.
It's scary.
It's scary,
Yeah,
man.
because I feel like it's like when you hit 25, you have like a realization. You're like, fuck, in the next 5 years, like I'm 30.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I have to make shit happen in the next 5
And
years.
yeah,
I'm 30, I'm an adult.
Yeah. And
It's
then,
like you turn around, everybody's married, everybody has kids.
Yeah,
everybody has a
everybody's
house.
married.
Fuck.
Yeah, people were like going like, oh, just have my mortgage, and you're like, fuck, like, am I lacking on something or like?
Yeah, it's like people are all having like their business, their house, their kids, their marriage, and you're like,
But it's also the highlight
making
reel.
noise, bro.
It's also the highlight reel, though. If you think about it, the information that you're getting, or like what the perception you're getting, is just like people's Instagram and like their social media. So like who knows what the fuck is actually going on? You know what I mean? Nobody actually knows the real story. But I feel like that actually is like more common now too. There's something I saw recently saying that like it's not about like followers anymore. It's more about like each individual like piece of content that you release, and they're saying like the value of followers are not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah.
So like, what's your game plan rebranding? Are you going to keep the Kasnowski like Instagram page and just rename it, or like are you gonna?
Oh no, I already got a whole new sets of pages for everything. I'm starting off fresh. I'm keeping the Kasnowski like for, I don't know, like I have
branding purposes.
Yeah, branding and just like it's became like a personal like my personal account. That's how I'm gonna like talk about like my other life projects and everything. Still about the George Alexander, but
it's like
I got a whole new set of socials for that. Like I'm really trying to make as big as possible of a distinction between the two, because like I really want this George Alexander thing to be something brand new, really different in terms of music, of persona, of everything, of like the whole brand, the whole message behind it. How
are you gonna manage to like manage all these pages? Like I feel like there's so many. At a certain point, it's like gets so hard because there's like so many pages.
I mean, right now it's kind of easy. Like Kasnowski, I only put like pictures of like food and shit, and my cats, like the essentials. And like George Alexander is just like that's where I put like the actual music content that I'm working on. And it's like that's why I'm trying to focus on doing more social media content, especially with TikTok, that I fucking hate because I'm a boomer now for TikTok.
Everybody hates TikTok, but you have to do it.
I'm 30. I cannot like start dancing and start like whoring myself out like in 15-second clips.
It's just the trends. Like the trends is what's tough, because like it's like for some reason on TikTok, the trends is like the mandatory thing that no matter who you are, you have to do the trends. Like especially if you want to get that reach, but like. When you're like selling your soul to TikTok.
I got a few friends that are like pretty huge on TikToks, like millions of followers and shit. And I'm like, how do you do that? That sounds so exhausting. It's like, I don't know. It feels like you're a robot doing like all those trends and all those. Like
I feel like psychologically too, it probably impacts you. Like, how does it like? It must do something to you when you're like, oh, like all these people are like responding maybe positively to like a dance you're doing. So maybe psychologically you're like, oh, like. I'm being normal and like this makes sense. Like,
but I really hope the TikTok era of social media comes to an end at some point, because I feel like social media
might get banned.
But social media was fake to begin with. But like TikTok is just I feel like it's the next level of like just horrible shit, bro. But
there's like there's like a subculture within TikTok too. Like if you look at the comments, like none of them are ever like, it's not like if you look at like Facebook comments and then like TikTok comments, it's like I feel like all the gamers are on TikTok. You know what I mean? No, it's all trolling. Whereas Facebook is like, oh my god, I can't believe this person did this. It's like so serious for some reason.
Yeah, no, Facebook is like boomers and stuff. They're like, I don't know, like exchange a recipe and shit. Instagram, that's where I just talk shit on football players on every NFL post. That's like my favorite thing to do. I talk mad shit about Patrick Mahomes.
You know how you have like multiple streams of income?
Yeah.
And I feel like social media is kind of like important nowadays. Is it like your way of having like multiple like, because I feel like it's so complicated to manage so many pages.
Yeah. But I mean, fuck, social media, like it pays like breadcrumbs. Like,
but not even saying like income wise, just like because now you're kind of like spreading yourself thin, like attention wise, right? Don't you think?
But I mean, every other page I used to run is pretty much inactive. So I'm just like focusing on like the main thing that I'm doing right now, which is George Alexander. Like Kasnowski is just like it's like my personal page.
Yeah,
for shit and giggles at this point. It's like I've pretty much I deleted everything off of the page. It's just like me fucking around. At this point. It's like it's where I keep like all the friends, all the family, all the dumb stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, it's like the behind the scenes or like the YouTuber's vlog channel or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to separate as much as possible George Alexander from that. Like I want, Kosnovsky had a great run for almost a decade, but now it's George Alexander time. This is who I am. This is the music that I'm trying to do. This is the image. This is the persona. This is like the product I'm pushing forward at this point. So
do you feel like you found a sound, or do you think you're still in that process?
100%.
Okay.
In a certain way that back when the Kosnovsky era, it was more about like tech house, bass house, bangers. It was like really show music, music made for just like people on MDMA and shit like that. It was music that was cool to dance to, cool in a club, but it wasn't really meaningful music in any kind of way. And with the George Alexander thing, it's much more, how can I say? It's a much more like, I wouldn't say complicated, but like it's much more
like detailed. Like there's more like
detail and
like substance, maybe. Like
dude, I'm really
texture.
I'm really feeling English as my second language right now.
I mean, you can say it in French. I'm pretty sure.
Recherché.
Oh, it's really like thought out.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a certain way, and we have people actually writing lyrics for the records, and there's an identity to the music, to the type of vibes I'm creating, to the types of lyrics.
There's like a brand voice almost.
Yeah, I'm really into sad boy shit. So.
Okay. So when you're branding this project, like, are you thinking about like branding at all and like visuals and like?
Oh yeah. Like I'm gonna have sets of visuals for shows that I'm working on right now. Every song has a set of visuals and everything. There's art pieces. There's everything built to it. Like basically, I don't know if you ever saw like one of the old Chami and Mala shows, like the No Redemption.
I feel like I went to a show actually.
It's like, like the Chami thing was like, it was in a church and everything. Like, well, my thing is like literally like you're at my show, but you are going through an art gallery as I'm doing the music, and all the art is animated and everything. That's how I see it. That's cool. Yeah, because I'm really trying to create an experience where music and visuals are different or unique. They are a thing instead of just having like my logo and random visuals like 90% of the people are doing. I guess it's kind of like Anima, like well, he's like resident at the Circle now in Vegas. Yeah, he has like that big dude with the tail and everything. Yeah, and like even the like the Circle when they're like the Sphere, or I don't know. Yeah, the Sphere in Vegas. Yeah. When they're like even doing the ad campaigns for it, it look really cool. Like it's like ripping out of the Circle and shit. Yeah. Oh, that's insane. Like, I feel like that goes hand in hand with like production and DJing now, especially for live shows. Like now there's like the drone shows. There's like a lot of assets. Yeah, I mean you gotta separate yourself at some point, and one of the biggest way, like since there's like a billion artists now, like trying to make it and everything. You have to bring something new to the table, and I feel like good visuals and like telling a story through your visuals. Also, that's why I draw a lot of inspiration from guys like Marion or Porter Robinson in a certain way. Yeah. Even though I'm doing a totally different type of vibe and everything, I'm still drawing a huge inspiration for what they're doing between their music and their visuals. So that's the thing I'm trying to. I wouldn't say like try to ascend to in terms of artistry with the project. Okay. Like people come to the show and they're like, yo, the visuals were really sick and everything has a meaning at the point where it's played with the song and everything. Yeah. So would you say that's more of like kind of like, is there like purpose behind that? Where you're like, oh, like my purpose is to kind of like showcase this and like create these experiences for people? Well, I feel like like a lot of the music that I'm doing, like I said, is sad boy vibes and everything. And is it because you're going through like an era right now, or is it just because in general, like you're just a sad boy? That's just who I am, bro. Oh, for real? Okay. I thought you were just joking. Yeah, I just really love like emotional music. I've always been like, even though I really don't show it a lot, I've been like always a guy who's like really close to his emotion, really like into like I just love sad music because like party music, like it's fine, it's whatever, like drink shots and shit.
You're just like running away from your problems.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like when people are sad, that's where they actually show their true
True.
colors
Oh,
and
okay.
everything. So I'm trying to get like the project is a lot about like heartbreaks and stuff like that. Like pretty much every song is kind of going toward that direction a little bit.
Did you have like a specific moment when you like knew like that's the kind of route you wanted to go? Or
Oh yeah,
like...
when she left me.
I thought, wait, okay. I'm like, she left you.
I miss you. No.
I was like, I thought you left. I don't know. I don't know who left who. No.
Honestly, like, no, I just felt like I really always loved like more complex and emotional music because
yeah, but I feel like there's like something must have happened, or like there's a realization you have, like you said, like you went through your 20s and then you had some like moment where you're like, okay, this is, I'm gonna rebrand, I'm gonna go this way. Like, who's to say, like, what if that happens again when you're 40? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm gonna fucking rebrand again, bro.
So
I'm
like,
gonna get a rebrand and a divorce
and a prenup all at the same time. And a kid.
But I feel like I just at the moment I decided to rebrand. It's just a lot of things changed in my life. Like, yeah, I was going through a bad breakup. Yeah, like I felt like the Kosnovsky project was losing momentum because of my endless search of my new sound and stuff like that. I was launching my software project that I told you about earlier. Like a lot of things were changing, and I was like, you know what? I need to refocus my priorities. Need to like figure shit out around all of that. And that was when I turned pretty much like right after my 28th birthday, so like 2 years ago. And that's, I think, where a lot of things changed. And by the time like the subsequent year, that's where I canceled out the Kosnovsky project. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I need to move on. George Alexander, new project, new vibe, new direction, which is like the more melodic, more vocal stuff where I'm actually more comfortable and I really love. And I also have all the tools, the people to help me. And I don't know, it just felt right at that moment. Like, yeah, a lot of things happened in my life, but I feel like I don't know, everything happens for a reason. It was like a culmination of multiple events. And I was like, you know what, Kosnovsky, it was like, it's that 23-year-old kid was like experiencing music for the first time. Now it's time for like George, who's actually making shit happen, you know?
So based on like that path so far, like what's like an advice you'd give to somebody who's like trying to make those connections and like they're like new in that scene and they're like trying to make those, I guess, like connections that are gonna like benefit both them and whoever they connect with, you know?
A big piece of advice I can give to people is first of all, don't be an asshole, because there's so many people having like too much of an ego out there, and that usually like that's the first thing that's gonna like kill off a connection, burn a bridge, whatever.
Yeah, it's like a turn off. Yeah.
So just like be open, be really nice to everyone, and don't. Like for me, I feel it's the ego thing, the biggest one. Like I feel that what has always annoyed me in music, like, is when I meet another artist or someone involved in the music industry that has like a massive ego and like thinks they're better than everyone. That's an automatic, like, it's over for me. And like I've seen many artists rise and fall because of their ego and stuff like that. So honestly, just be open, just be chill. I don't think in any ways that you're better than anybody else. Like, just be a decent fucking human being. That's how I see it.
And then like, so I guess like that's how you made most of your connections, is just like,
just being friendly, just being chill. And also like, don't put the focus all on music. Like, just don't go running after people and like, yo, I'm a producer, yo, I'm doing that, yo, I'm an artist. Just try to make genuine like
a real conversation,
conversation, connections, build friendships, have some fun. Like, all the people that I'm working with right now, like, that are helping me out with a project in any way, shape, or form, are good friends of mine now, because I've nurtured in a certain way the friendship, the connection, before like just straight up like, what can you do for me? Like, I'm doing music, like, check this out. Like, I feel like if you develop a genuine connection with people around you, it's just gonna go better.
Yeah,
it's gonna be easier for everybody. There's fuck, just like I said, just be a decent person, just be a nice person, develop friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go straight to the yo, I'm an artist, I'm a producer, I'm trying to do this and that.
Yeah.
Because they're just gonna like probably disregard.
But you
it
could you could feel it too, like usually when you're talking to somebody, when there's like that disingenuine.
Yeah, it's like they're being pushy and everything, and just like puts so much friction in the relationship that you're maybe trying to build and everything that I don't know, it just flakes pretty early right after that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a side of that where you feel like it's equal on both sides, and you're like, there's like, because like at the end of the day, you are bringing, like, someone is going to bring that value to you, and you are going to bring that value back. So like, I feel like as long as it's balanced and you're like, I'm going to provide the same amount of value that this person is bringing back to me, then I feel like that's considered a genuine connection too. Even though you, I guess, quote unquote, like looking at the benefits, like, because if you're working with an artist on a project and you guys both have like the following and like you guys are going to benefit each other, then it's a win-win, you know?
Oh, exactly. And honestly, I would say like at this point, like 70% of my friends are like through music. All the best connections I have are through music, and it's not necessarily because I wanted to work with them or they wanted to work with me and stuff like that. It's just because we're just vibing. We're not being egotistical or assholes.
No expectations.
We're just vibing. Like, it's like, there's one of the producers I work a lot with that helps me out. It's like, we do music, but we also like play Fortnite like 3 fucking hours a day. Like, that's how
I feel like the connection you make with somebody like gaming is like the next level, you know? So like,
but I think gaming really became, especially in the music industry, something really important. And the pivotal moment was COVID, because every show everything was canceled, nothing was happening, and a lot of artists, they had fucking nothing to do. They were lost. A lot of them lost kind of in a certain way their appetite to do music because they didn't know if there was ever going to be shows again, if they were going to be relevant at that moment, whatever. So a lot of artists within the industry started just fucking gaming, and everybody started playing video games together. Like, dude, like 2019, 2020 Warzone, dude, I was like, that was Amsterdam dance event. Like all the artists, everybody were just chilling, playing.
But there's also like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2. Like I pulled out my PS3, and then like people were still like on the like online. All of a sudden, like everybody became online. Like now, if you go, like no one's gonna be there. But during
honestly,
COVID,
gaming has turned since COVID. Gaming has definitely turned into a proper social event. Like it used to be just random dudes like, oh, he's a gamer, he's a nerd, whatever. But now I feel like it's widely accepted as a proper social activities. Yeah. Like instead of going out with your boys, like getting drunk in a bar, it costs you like $200, whatever. You just crack open a cold one and just play some zombies with the homies.
Turn on Discord.
And it's accepted, and it should be, and it really works at a good, like, it's a good social gathering gaming now.
Yeah. Have you ever like tried VR stuff?
Not really. No, I'm not into. I have like VR glasses, like.
But you know how there's like lobbies that you can literally go into VR and like meet people, talk to people.
Oh yeah, like via VR chat and shit like that. Dude, it's so hilarious. Like I watch a lot of like VR chat videos on TikTok. People fucking around.
Going in it, it's kind of annoying because like your body has to get used to it. So when you're moving and you're like sedentary, like you start getting sick, which is fucked. Now they have like pre-workout and like stuff for VR gamers.
Yeah, I'm 100% the guy who's gonna break his fucking nose like playing VR games. But, like I love the you've probably seen it. It's like the guy who dresses up as like the character of the meme, like do you know the way? It's like the red hedgehog or whatever fucking shit, and just like does like random shit in VR chat.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll show you after this.
I know like there's one guy who like acts like a Mexican construction worker. And he kind of looks like I don't know what kind of animal he is, but he just goes into like VR and he like.
Is it the one like a shitty Mickey Mouse thing?
Yeah, he looks kind of like a shitty. That's just hilarious.
That one's good too.
So you're gonna launch this new project, and like, do you have anything cool coming up?
Look, I pretty much did like a test run. To put it in this way, like in 2024, I got 2 records out. One in July, Collapse on Me. One in October with Ocean. And what I'm trying to do right now is 2025. I'm planning 10 songs, 1 a month from January to October. Basically like an album worth of music that's going to be dropping next year. That I'm already halfway finished.
It's crazy, like all the like the actual effort behind the scenes that goes besides just like putting out music. It sucks because like when you're starting off, you have to like you just want to focus on putting out music, but you have to like worry about all these other things. And then once, I guess at one point you'll get to a stage where you're like, okay, now I can finally only work on music, you know?
Like when you start off like doing all of these things by yourself, and as you grow and grow, then you can start like hiring a team. But as long as you're not really making like a lot of money with music, you have to figure out like all that shit by yourself.
Yeah.
So like I said, like I started doing electronic like 10 years ago. Did the Kasnovsky, like I feel like Kasnovsky was like, it was my learning curve in a certain way. It took 10 years. Now I got my shit figured out. George Alexander is coming out with the proper tools, the proper people, the proper surroundings, the proper everything around it. So it's pretty much how I see it right now.
Yeah, and you're planning to release pretty consistently next year too. Exactly. So like,
I want to get like an album worth of music out next year. Because I want to prove also that this project is able to deliver, you know, quality and consistently over like the whole year. Because like, yeah, I did 2 songs. They did really, really well. People loved it. Got played a bunch of radio. Some artists played it and everything. But I want to show that, it's not just like a random one-off artist. I want to really create consistency for the projects, show everyone that. Yeah,
you're also going to showcase your sound like that too, and exactly. Like find that audience, you know? Yeah,
and I feel like the sound also is very unique in a certain way. Like I have a really hard time finding another artist that sounds similar to me, which is a really good thing. But also it's a tough thing a little bit, because like the adaptation curve for people listening could be a little bit harder because they don't have like a reference to some other people. It sounds like, but I feel like in the long run it really helps having a really unique sound to create a sense of identity and being like unique. It's like people are gonna come to the shows hopefully because like, oh, it's like George Alexander, it's that sound, those type of music and stuff like that. And I really want to try to focus on having my shows being just 100% of my music, like nothing else, because it is such in its niche and its vibe that hopefully that's
it creates its own
like
lane.
pretty much like I said, like one of the projects I really draw inspiration from is the Zoo project. It's like Mysterious doing his thing by his own, just disappearing for a year, pulling out an album, having great amazing branding, doing like insane shows and stuff like that. I really love like the whole brand around Zoo.
I also like that you like call it a project, because you're seeing them. Like I feel like it's easier like psychologically to like organize your thoughts around looking at it as like a project versus like, oh, like I'm gonna make music under this name, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because like, you automatically are gonna give yourself like a timeline and like milestones and goals, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, music is, like I said, you have to run it like a business nowadays. It's a project you're building, you're working on, and like I said, like let's say maybe with the Kasnovsky project, I was more into the mold of the whole like, look at me, I'm the artist, I'm that guy, whatever, and that's something I really want to step away from. Like not turning, like I just feel there's just too many frat boys with ego.
What are your thoughts on John Summit?
I fucking love the kid. He's insane. Love that kid, bro. He's my age. But, dude, I just love it. I love his music. I love the vibe. I love everything. Like honestly, his team is insane. He's an insane artist. Like the whole project, the whole everything is just the way that's taken over the scene so fast and such in a fucking like grandiose way, in a certain way, because like dude went from being like that random kid to being like the biggest, like almost grossing artist in the electronic scene in like fucking 2 years. It's insane,
like Madison Square Garden and shit too.
Yeah, it's insane when you think about it. Like his team did an instant work. His branding was also on point. Like his branding really appeals to to everybody, like especially in North America. Like dude, he did a marvelous job on the branding, in my opinion.
So 2025, you're gonna drop a shit ton of projects, works. I'm excited to see.
I'll show you some if you want later.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a bunch ready.
When's the first thing gonna come out?
The first one that's gonna come out, it's scheduled for January 10th.
Okay.
It's a record. It's called Beloved. Sad boy vibes, always.
Shout out to Sad Boys.
Shout out to Breakups. And it's a friend of mine from New Zealand who's singing on it.
Okay.
I mean, it's I'll show it to you. It's it's still is somehow in the realm of house music, but like more electronic. Like I don't even know how to put a genre like on my songs. That's how
That's good though.
I'm trying to build something like real different, and I can't really put my finger on, is it house, is it electronic, is it progressive, is it whatever. Like I don't really know where it fits in the whole like spectrum of genres.
Dope. I'm excited to hear it. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much for coming. I know it was like my podcast has been on a pause because just to give an update, this is in December of 2024. But yeah, I'm excited to launch. I'm probably going to drop mine right when you're about to drop. So like January 10th.
No, perfect.
Yeah, that would be probably perfect timing.
Double whammy, my dude.
Yeah. And then just my goal for next year is the same thing. I'm going to start like dropping podcasts. Ideally 1 per week, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, and I'm happy to help you like relaunch the whole podcast thing.
Yeah,